All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another awesome edition of the most swagged, the most entertaining, the most enlightening podcast, wrestling podcast, if I may say so myself, on social media. Y'all already know what it is. Get your minds right as you are now about to enter into another Ring Psychology. This is episode 14.
14.
Wow. We are 14 episodes in. Man, that it don't even really seem that long, but apparently it is. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have been gone for a little while, and I'm pretty sure if you've kept up with what's going on in pro wrestling for the past couple of weeks, you will understand why, as we have all been hit hard by the passing of not one, but two very important figures
Yeah.
in the industry. But one figure in particular has hit us the hardest. And
Yeah.
of course, you all know who we're talking about, the one and only, the incomparable, the often imitated, but will never be duplicated. His name was Wyndham Rotunda, but we all famously knew him as Bray
Wow.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
We lost him a couple of weeks back. Um, gone very, gone too soon, way early than he was supposed to. Um, he had died in his sleep. Apparently, that's what the reports came out and said. He was actually, ironically, just taking a regular afternoon nap, and his fiance JoJo Speakman, who y'all may remember as a Raw ring announcer. She found him um, unable to respond while he was taking the nap, and she immediately called the EMTs, and it was reported that he had passed away not too long after he got to the hospital. And it was his father, of all people, Mike Rotunda, who all of my 90s old school wrestling fans out there may remember as IRS, or either if you watch WCW, VK Wall Street, or if you want to go back to the 80s, Captain Mike Rotunda of the Varsity Club had called Triple H and had to unfortunately break the news once. And then Triple H relayed the news to the rest of the world. So yeah, that really hit us like a bolt of lightning. Finding out that Bray Wyatt passed away. I know me and Dre here, we were really big fans of Bray Wyatt. Me speaking personally, I could really relate to somebody like Bray, judging from my own personal experiences growing up, especially like my time in like middle school and high school and stuff. A lot of the promos that Bray Wyatt did, they struck a very deep chord with me. Um, so I felt like, a real authentic connection to him. And, beyond that, his character was just so unique. I remember when I started back watching pro wrestling in 2016, because there was a while where I stopped watching. But once I started back, Bray was one of the first people that I saw. And I just remember, seeing this guy with this long grizzly beard with a Hawaiian shirt on with a fedora, just cutting these, you know, um, Jim Crow cult leader like promos. And, it kind of made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. But at the same time, I was like, wow, this is what WWE's doing now. Like they making stars like this. Like, man, this is really interesting. Like, I really gotta get into this guy. And then, seeing the angles that he did with, of course, John Cena, Randy Orton, and going back to the days of the Wyatt family, the group, that memorable feud that they had with the Shield. Getting people like Daniel Bryan involved, the New Day. I mean, it's a lot of, you know, memorable moments that Bray gave us. You know, he was truly, in my opinion, a very important part of this modern day pro wrestling generation. Um and I don't think there will ever be a superstar, as hard as WWE may try. There will never be a superstar to come along in the next 5, 10, 15 years that will ever be able to match what Bray did. Cause it's not it's not it's not often that we see superstars that can make you think, that are thought provoking. The only other guy that I can think back to that had this type of influence and impact that Bray had was Jake the Snake Roberts. You know, if y'all remember Jake the Snake, you know, Jake was kind of, you know, that eerie, sinister, you know, calculating character, but yet the promos that he did, you know, were much like Bray's, you know, very um, philosophical. It made you think, and they were believable too. That's another thing. You know, Bray made you believe that this Bray Wyatt character was real. You know what I'm saying? He made you think that if you walked out in public and you saw this guy walking down the street coming towards you, you know, oh crap, that's Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows you how much of a genius he was. And then, you know, as the years went on, you know, him, you know, reinventing himself, you know, with the Fiend and, you know, the Firefly Funhouse Bray, and then incorporating people like, you know, Alexa Bliss, you know, and Seth Rollins, you know, giving them major boosts, you know, in their careers and stuff. So it's really, really sad, man. It really is. You know, I couldn't believe the news when our very own Jaquil Jay Anderson actually messaged me on Facebook and told me that Bray Wyatt had passed away. I couldn't believe it. But when I got when I saw the retweet that Triple H put out on social media, I was just stunned. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, sleep in heavenly peace, Bray. Um, yeah, the one and only, man. The one and only. You know what I'm saying? Follow the buzzards, man. Follow the buzzards. That's
Just
all
want
I'm
you to
gonna say.
know that you just cut a 7-minute promo, and
Oh, wow. Did I just cut a
you
promo?
just cut a 7-minute promo, 8-minute promo.
Wow.
You would
I
be
didn't even
fined for
realize.
stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Nah, but
wow.
true words, man. True words, man. And,
Wow.
you know, rest peacefully to Winter Rotunda. We're gonna definitely miss you. It's gonna be some. It ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same. And while we're talking about that, and we're gonna get to, you know, what we're gonna talk about today, I just wanted to also say thank you, GA. You and Jaquil, y'all held it down for me. For those, you know, I've been getting inboxes from some people who've been watching, who does watch the podcast. I am okay. I was dealing with the loss of my brother, and grief hits weird. Um, this was somebody that was very, very, very dear to me, and so, and the week that he passed was the week that I was not on. And it just took a minute to kind of bounce back from that. But I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. Not to mention, you know, Bray passed the very next week, so it was like kind of weird for me. But thank y'all for everyone that has been reaching out. I'm taking it day by day. Uh, my brother wouldn't want me to stop all, you know, operations, so I wanted to make sure that y'all saw my face, and you know, yeah. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Glad that glad to have you back.
Yeah,
Glad
man.
to have you
Let's
back
get
in the
into
saddle.
it, bro.
Yeah, man.
In the
So with
words
that
of
being said,
Cody Rhodes. So, what do you want to talk about?
ah,
So much we can talk about. So,
my dear
so much has
colleague.
happened.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on. If y'all watching,
Yeah.
If y'all watching, it's a lot
Mm,
going on. I don't even know
mm,
where to start. Let's
mm.
let's let's start here. Let's start here.
Okay.
Uh
Take it away, Dreyfus.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. That Judgment Day. Oh, that Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Woo.
They what
Yeah.
can I say?
What can you say?
They you know, people will be upset because they're like, well, they didn't win clean. Well, no heels do.
Who the
No
hell
heels
said who in the world
actually,
said that?
oh man. What no heels do. They
Yeah.
did exactly what a heel does. And you know, I mean, y'all praise the tribal chief Roman Reigns, but he ain't one clean in a minute either. So I mean, hey, Judgment Day has all the gold. Well, not all the gold, but they got majority of it.
Most of it. They got
They
most of
got
it.
majority of it. Everybody has a belt.
Hmm.
Everybody has a belt. So
Hmm.
what are your thoughts on that, man?
Man, well, you know what? um, I saw it coming. I knew it was bound to happen. I mean, they've been, other than the bloodline, they were the number two hottest faction in WWE. So you had to think at a moment's notice that H was gonna crown this crew and they were gonna all be walking around with gold. Um, you hate to see um a really good feel good what's the word? I guess if you want to call it Cinderella team and KO and Sami Zayn. And the only reason why I say Cinderella is because, a lot of people didn't think that WWE was going to pull the trigger on them and have them go over on the Usos at WrestleMania. So, so yeah, just riding off of that storyline and, seeing how far it can go, you had to think sooner or later, especially with how the story of the bloodline has gone as of late. Now that they're no longer having anything to do with the bloodline, you had to think that somebody was going to take the championships off of them. I did not expect, a year-long reign with KO and Sammy. And, they've been teasing this turmoil with Finn and Damien for a couple of months now. And I kind of had a feeling too that H didn't want to do the turn just yet. So, how do you solve that problem? You put the tag team titles on Finn and Damien. And then, we had to pretty much hear, these past couple of weeks recently about, oh, Finn hasn't had a belt. Oh, they ain't got nothing for Finn. Finn is not doing anything. So, you had to know at some point, whether it was at the pay per view or the PLE, I should say, or on an episode of Raw, that they were going to drop the belts to the Judgment Day. Because, I mean, that's who they've been pretty much feuding with as a tag team. So I kind of thought of this as, an inevitable situation. But hey, give the Judgment Day their credit. They pretty much came from the bottom. They started off as like the corny, gothic, dark group to now they're rock stars. Pretty much. Now that they're all dripping in gold, they're pretty much rock stars. So I mean, hey, let's celebrate them while they're on this streak, and whenever it's time for them to drop the belts, okay, that's kind of what we expected. So, you know,
I get that. I get that. I get that.
what up, Trevor? I seen you. What
What up,
up,
bro?
man?
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I'm interested to see what's next. I
I am
want to
too.
see because now it's like they still got to have that moment where Finn and Damien still have to go at it
Mm-hmm.
as champions now.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you turn that? You know what I'm saying?
Two words. Two words, my brother. Two words, and it's right in front of your face. JD McDonough. That's how you do that. It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn, man.
But it's also for me. It's also I want to see them have that moment as champions.
Oh, trust me.
I want to see
Trust me.
them. I want to see them as champions have to be upset with each other because Damian cashes in on Seth.
Oh,
And
that's coming.
I feel like that's the reason that we even are taking away we're taking away well, I used to feel like that until this past payday and Monday. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you why.
Okay.
For me, I felt like this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We take the titles off of because you know I always look at the bigger picture.
Of course.
You
Of
take the
course.
titles off of Sammy and Kevin because we
Mm-hmm.
need some people to be in the running for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
We need some people that's going to make that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kevin. You could put Sammy in it. You could put
Shinsuke.
Shinsuke, which he's already done his bit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have Damien. Of course, you have what's his name? Oh God.
Gunther.
Eventually he would have to drop the Intercontinental
Intercontinental Championship.
Championship, but Gunther's one. But I was talking about Drew McIntyre.
Drew. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These are people that you could put in the running. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I no longer see that, and I know I'm jumping the gun, but after the
Uh-huh.
10-minute promo that you cut
Oh,
in the top of the show,
uh-oh. Forgive me.
as time runs down, I gotta because I feel like we're gonna talk about this big time. We
Mm-hmm.
got some new roster members, man,
Yes,
and
we do, don't we? Don't we? Isn't
I
it amazing how
I'm
two
not
weeks
gonna
can
lie,
just fly by? Isn't it just amazing, Dreyfus?
I
Isn't
like
it amazing?
I like it a lot. Uh,
Yeah,
I thought
I
about
do
all
too.
those people being in the running, but now I'm like, I see your wheels spinning.
Mm-hmm.
I see your wheels spinning because Survivor Series is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I don't feel like it's gonna be War Games.
No.
I feel like it's gonna be Raw versus
SmackDown.
SmackDown
Mm-hmm.
versus
Mm-hmm.
NXT. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
add them in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And we all wanted to see granted, Seth versus Roman is great,
Uh-huh.
but Jay versus Roman part 3 is
Mm.
better, especially at Survivor Series because it's
Mm-hmm.
not a title match.
Right?
It's not a title match. We want Jay to beat Roman.
Yep.
It don't necessarily have to be for the title, and he could also go back and he can make it for. He can also make it for the tribal chief
Right.
status. That would be great
Mm-hmm.
because we knew that you weren't going to win the championship, but that doesn't mean that you still can't be the tribal chief.
Right.
I can see him showing up. I can see him somehow getting the title shot. When is Survivor Series? Is it in October?
No, that's November.
November. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him uh winning somehow. Somehow, I don't even know how. You just
Mm-hmm.
weirdly get a title shot and winning.
Right.
And after winning, you go up against Roman at Survivor Series. That's still your family. You want that tribal chief spot.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
Hmm.
They're trying to bring more attention to Raw was the A show. It's no longer the A show.
No, it's not.
SmackDown is the A show now.
SmackDown is now.
And now they got to bring more attention to it. That's why they put Jay on there because
Yeah.
they need that.
Yeah, but I
They need,
mean, if you ask me, I mean, yes, that would be great, like Jay versus Reigns, 3. But I would be more interested in seeing Jay as the world heavyweight champion. And I know that might be, far fetched for some people, But my whole
Yeah,
thing is
I see
like,
it.
yeah, no.
I
But
see
for
it.
some people, it's gonna be like, oh well, he already lost to Roman at
Mm-mm.
SummerSlam and stuff, and now he's got to start, from the bottom and come back up or whatever, and that's cool. That's cool. Let him run the table. Let him go up against people like Shinsuke and Drew, even Gunter, even Cody. Like, let him run the table. Let him work his way back up
I
the
don't think he's gonna have
ranking.
a shot at. I don't think he's gonna have a shot at Cody.
Well, okay, well, X
I
Cody out
think.
then, but the
I
rest of those
think
guys,
Cody. I think Cody's gonna get traded to SmackDown.
you think that's who Pierce was talking about for the
Absolutely.
trade compensate from
Absolutely.
compensation? Well,
Absolutely.
that's if that happens, then the plan is going is gonna the plan is gonna come to fruition if Cody
And
goes to SmackDown.
ladies and gentlemen, bear with us because we finna be a little bit of everywhere. We had like 2 weeks off,
Right.
and so it's a lot that happened in
A
literally a
lot.
few days.
Literally.
So just bear with us. We're gonna be jumping
Right.
from because everything kind of ties into each other, but we're gonna be jumping.
Right.
All right.
Thank
So
you for that disclaimer.
yeah,
But
we gotta put that out there. I'm gonna say this, bro.
yeah.
I don't see because I don't see Cody winning the Royal Rumble again. I don't even see him in it.
You don't see him in it?
I don't even see him in it. I feel like
Wow.
with him being traded,
Uh-huh.
you have a direct line.
Okay.
You've already called out the tribal chief, and I'm tell you when you called him out because you sat in the middle of the ring and said Brock Lesnar acknowledged him. That's a shade. It's a shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a shot.
That's a straight shot.
I do believe that he's going to be traded, and they're going to build this storyline, and they're probably going to start it now. And what better time than to start it now?
What better time? What better time? I mean, listen, we've got Fastlane. Fastlane is the next PLE. And then after Fastlane, it's Survivor Series. And then, or no, wait, sorry. Hold on. I missed something. It's Fastlane and then that stupid September Superstars spectacle, whatever that is in India,
In
whatever that,
India,
yeah, whatever that's gonna be. But after all of that, then we have Survivor Series, and then December's gonna come. Then it's gonna be time for the Royal Rumble, aka the Road to Mania. So yes, if Cody is indeed the person that is traded, which I agree with you internally believe will be, then it all comes full circle. Then us wrestling fans, we win because the plan is going exactly how we want it to. We get Cody on SmackDown. Him and Roman are on the same program. Okay, pull the trigger, H. Let's pick up where we left off. Let's indeed finish the story all the way up to WrestleMania
it's
40. I
time.
mean, why
It's
not?
time.
Why not? You
I
got Jay away from you got Jay
now
away
now
from
I'm gonna say this. This is what I don't like. I got to bang on something as I said.
okay.
I don't like this because I wanted to see, and I still want to see
Yeah.
Jay versus Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
H, you owe us Jay versus Jimmy.
Okay.
Give us Jay versus Jimmy
Uh-huh.
because why have all this happen and we don't go there? We got to have
Right.
Jay versus Jimmy.
Right. I mean,
And
that might
and
happen though.
and that's a WrestleMania main
It
event
is.
worthy
It is.
fight.
It really is. But let me say this though, Drake. How many times, especially over the past couple of weeks, and this is so typical WWE, and I even gotta, put Triple H in the middle of this fire too. How many times in the past couple of weeks have we seen them break their own rules? I mean, shoot, LA Knight showed up on Raw to feud with The Miz.
Facts.
AJ showed up on Raw the following Monday after a clash of or no, Night of Champions to
Facts.
just give Seth Rollins a handshake and book a tag team match. Like Like, what's going on?
Oh, we got
Oh,
Derek
Derek
Wyman. What up,
Whiteman.
though?
Derek, what's going on, my boy? Man, I hadn't heard from this guy in so long. D. Weidman on this thing. I love it.
Derek says, unfortunately, the creative team for WWE is not good. All the good ideas come from fans that should be working for WWE. I
You know what? You know
totally
what?
agree.
You know what, Derek? You're right. You're
I
right.
totally agree.
They need to bring back Cyber Tuesday. I'm lobbying for
But
it right
man,
now, Jay.
Silver
Right.
Tuesday wasn't even good. Like the selections that they gave us was whack too.
But in this modern day, Dre,
But they wouldn't put nobody that we wanted. They wouldn't do anything that we
you're
want to be
right.
seen.
You're
Like we
right.
want to see get done.
We can't never have nice things with WWE.
It's right now. It's the toss up. It's Vince that still has his hands in things. Like I'm not
Unfortunately.
gonna lie. Even when it comes down to not giving the fans what they want, y'all know I see it. I called it.
Yeah.
I called it. I said, as much as we want Cody to win at WrestleMania, he wasn't gonna win. And it
You did say
sense.
did you? Oh, I have to go back and but I think you did say that.
I said it. We
I think
want
you
him
did
to win.
say it.
It's not gonna happen.
Wow, you know what? That literally flew over my head like a blimp. Like I did not realize that you had called that. I swore up and down you agreed with me and Jaquita.
It's because of the money of it. It's the business of it.
Yeah.
Of course, the business of it is not yet. Let's
Right.
not do it yet.
And then
Let's
it's
not
stupid.
do it yet. We can.
Then it's
He's
stupid.
gonna win, but not right now. Now here's the
Right.
thing. Look at what happened. He didn't win, and still, you still had more of the. You had more of because here's the thing. We said he wasn't gonna win because the bloodline had to break up. That's what I said.
Yeah,
The
you said
bloodline
that
has
too.
to
No, I
break up
remember
for
that.
him to win.
I remember that.
He's
You
not
did
gonna
say that.
win. There's no way that he can beat what 4 people altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
No way
right.
he can
4
do it.
people. 4 people.
So I don't care if he can beat Brock Lesnar. You
Right.
can't beat 4 people.
Right. You can't.
Cheating. Can't do it.
Nope.
I said the bigger story was not Cody Rhodes winning. At that
Right.
time, the bigger story was the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And if Cody would have won, it would have
Mm-hmm.
took away from their biggest attraction right now, which is the bloodline. So now what happens? We start tearing down the bloodline as we build the Judgment Day.
Mm.
See what I'm
Wow.
saying?
That is a hell of a
Build these down,
philosophy, sir.
and now we're building over here because right now, financially, we got to
Mhm.
spread this all the way around.
Right. But here's my thing. No, Dre. Like looking at it from a creative perspective, because you know that's my wheelhouse. So check this out. I agree 3,000% with everything that you're saying, but there's one caveat here. I feel like should they have pulled the trigger on Cody at WrestleMania Night 2, which I believe they should have, and the whole rest of the wrestling world does. I feel like when you talk about the breakup of the bloodline, and especially, with the layers of, Jay and Jimmy, striking first or whatnot, I feel like it would have been an easier transition for them to do that.
Why?
Simply because the plan that they always have in every Roman Reigns match, which is referee bump, enter Solo, then eventually enter Usos, then enter Solo. Like, if that plan would have backfired and Cody would have won in spite of that, I feel like it would have elevated the bloodline breakup that much more, because now not only did they fail Roman, but now Roman has pretty much lost all of his power as the tribal chief because he is not the undisputed universal champion anymore. So now they're looking at him like, well, hold on now.
So let me tell you why I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree because would you really have cared? Because your site.
Yes, I would have.
But here's the thing. Was your site the bloodline or was your site Cody? If Cody would have won those titles, y'all wouldn't have cared about the bloodline anymore. You would have looked at Cody like, so what's next? What are you gonna do next? Because
Well, I guess that is a good point. I
I
guess it
mean, I'm
is a
just
good
saying,
point.
like with the championship, you've now, like I said, you've established who this guy is. You've established that he is this ultimate bad guy. There's no bad guy like Roman Reigns, right?
Right.
Who needs his family to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
won the biggest one of them all.
Right.
We got to first pick him first. We
Mm-hmm.
got to show the people you really ain't all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that when Jay pinned him.
Okay.
So we're already taken away from. We already taken away. We're showing people that he's human. Even if you think about how he fought that match,
Yeah.
if he would have lost that title, no one would have cared how he fought that match.
Can
You
you
are
really
the
say
guy.
that though? Can you really say
Yeah.
Roman really would have been forgotten if Cody would have beat
He
him
would not
at,
have
at
been.
Mania?
He wouldn't have been that big. He wouldn't have been who he is right now. And
Huh.
here's why. Because if Cody would have been just like, okay, we never thought that he would beat Brock Lesnar, but he
Right.
did,
Yeah.
fair and square,
Mm-hmm.
clean.
Right.
Now you look at him and say, now, how are you looking at Brock now? Think about it.
Yeah, I
How
look
you
at
looking at
Brock
Brock
as
now?
just like ordinary. Yeah, you know what? Okay. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we call him. That's why I say everything he says and touches turns to gold. This is why. This
Yeah,
is why he's here.
exactly.
He's
Derek,
here.
yeah. When Flair wasn't a champ, the Horsemen were still major. It was all about the storyline. The thing about it
That is
is,
a good point. That is a good point, Derek. That is a good point. Roman would have been relevant without the belt. It's the players. That's what I thank you,
Roman
Derek. That's
would
what
have
I'm saying. That's
Roman
what
would
I
have
was
been
saying, Dre.
relevant. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been relevant. He just wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have looked at him the same.
But Derek, if you can hear me, tell me if you agree with this or not, right? So I know you just heard what I just said about if Cody had pinned Roman at WrestleMania, despite the interference from the bloodline, would it or would it have not have made this dissension between him and his cousins a lot easier to transition into without him being the undisputed
It
universal champion?
For me, it would have
Because
been typical though. It would have been typical. You lost them. You made me lose the match. Now we got to break up. It's typical. And that's the problem with WWE storylines right
well,
now.
yeah,
Everything is typical. You know
it
exactly
sure as
what's
hell
going to
is.
happen. See, Derek just said it
Okay,
would have been typical.
okay,
It would
okay,
it would have been the
okay,
most typical thing. Him keeping the belts, because here's the thing: they built the bloodline first of all around the champion, not
okay.
Roman,
Mm-hmm.
around the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Roman had already been champion, so
Mm-hmm.
now you built this thing around him, and they are keeping you to have it. But if
Mm.
you break that down while you're still the champion, now we're looking at you differently. No, you're human. That
So
gives so
so
what
would
that
he
does is
so
give
would he would have
momentum.
been if they would have imploded, had Cody pin Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, if they would have imploded, do you feel that Roman still would have been as strong a heel champion as he is now? Do you think that would have made him a weak heel champion or a stronger heel champion had they imploded if Cody had beat him at WrestleMania?
No, no. I
You
feel
so
like
you think he still would have been a strong heel champion in spite of
I don't think he would have been strong.
so he would have been
Because
a
now
weak champion.
I feel so. And the reason why I feel so is because now you don't see Roman fighting and scratching to the top. He's already at the top.
Yeah,
He doesn't have to do that with his cousins by his side.
right.
So
Okay.
now you see a more vulnerable person.
Okay.
You see a vulnerable champion now. It's because of how they've built the
Build the
storyline behind
storyline
Roman. It's
Roman.
what's said earlier. They've made it to where it appears Roman. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
he
reason
does need
why.
him to win.
That's
Yes.
the, but let's be clear. He didn't need him to win in the beginning. He's won match after match after match without them. And then they started building him.
So if that's the case, so why the constant overbooking
Because you
of
don't
the
want to
ref
lose the
talk?
momentum of him. He's
The
your
momentum.
biggest attraction. If Cody would have won, Cody has to fight him fair and square for Roman to keep his stature. That way, when Roman fights back for it, we're still looking at it like, yo, this is gonna be a challenge for you.
But see, here's the thing: how are we gonna know what the chase is if Roman never drops the belt? If he never drops the belt, there will be no chase.
He's gonna drop the belt. Now he's definitely gonna drop it. I guarantee Jimmy won't be back in the bloodline. I see issue there. Jay's already gone, and Solo's on his way out. I even see Solo trying to get a championship at this point.
Yeah, he needs one.
And you have to really pay. Let me tell you something. This is the reason why I say Roman took some. You said it before too. Roman took some acting classes or something because he acted the hell out of that match.
Yeah,
you saw a desperate Roman. Yeah. You saw Solo looking at him like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
Did you not know who you are?
Yeah.
This man had to remind him and still lost.
Yeah, that was money in the bank. Yeah, you're right.
You see a vulnerable Roman now.
Yeah.
Now you see a Roman that can be beat.
Mm-hmm.
You see a Roman that no matter who in his corner. Now here's where the thing is gonna lie. I do believe that Solo is going to make it all the way to WrestleMania with Roman. And I do believe that Cody will fight Roman with Solo on his side. So he's gonna have to fight two people still.
Okay, but how do we know? But going back to something you just said, okay, yeah, even though you feel like there's friction between, Jimmy and Solo and he won't be back in the bloodline, how do you still know that, there won't be a part of the story where it'll be, oh, Jimmy's trying to, put himself back in Roman's good graces, and what better way to do that than by costing Cody the championship at WrestleMania? Then what? Then where do we go? You going I'm not gonna say, well, you know what? Yeah, I am gonna say screw. Because Cody got screwed. So you're gonna screw Cody again? You're gonna screw him again?
They're not gonna do it. He's gonna find a way to win, just like he found a way to beat Brock. In real life, Brock is gonna beat the brakes off of Cody.
I mean, yeah.
That was written.
I mean, of course it is. Like, Brock's a former UFC
Derek
champion.
Is absolutely right.
Can we just go ahead and get Derek Wyman?
Right.
Can we just have Derek as like a guest on this? Do you want to become a guest on the show? Because these points that you're making are just like,
no, he's 100% right. It was definitely a missed opportunity. He is star power. However, so is Roman. So you put the two together, and it's like this man said Thursday night football.
I know that's right. I hear you, Derek.
You put them together, you have that's money, and I feel like what H did financially makes sense. I ain't gonna do it right now. Let's push it another year, because while we're still building this, you are still intrigued. We're watching every Friday, waiting to see what Cody's gonna do. Actually, no, we'll see what Roman was gonna do, because Cody was on Raw until they started switching up. Because we're all looking at it like, if they split him, how you gonna get his next shot? They're on two different brands now,
right?
So what they're doing is smart,
very smart.
What they're doing is smart, because we can have attitude all day. We can say we don't like it all day, but we still watch every week just to see what's going to happen.
Of course, yeah. Because because I know me personally. I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I mean, I want to see Cody get his moment, darn it.
And Cody's going to get it. Cody. Now, if they were to do something stupid enough to make him lose again,
And you
then
know
it's like,
Gutierrez will do it. You know Gutierrez will do it
I
sitting
don't
at
know.
home in Hartford, Connecticut, fresh out of surgery. You know he will not
I
hesitate
don't
to
know.
call the
Let me
office
tell you why
and
I don't
tell
know.
H, I want Roman going over on Cody at WrestleMania 4. You know Vince will do it. You know he will.
I don't know, bro.
Oh, be quiet, Trevor. Be quiet.
Let me tell
Be
you why I
quiet.
don't know. I don't know because I would have never thought that he would let Cody beat Brock. Cody beat Brock.
Yeah, because that was H that had the pin, not Vince. H had the pin.
Man,
Vince
Vince,
didn't have the pin on
nah,
that.
Vince had the pin again. He just was letting H do his thing. By that time, Vince had came back. By that time, Vince was back.
I guess so. But at
Tell me I'm wrong.
SummerSlam, that was all H. That was all at
He's letting
Backlash.
Triple
At
H do what he
Backlash,
do.
okay, I could see Backlash. All right. Thank you,
Yeah, no,
Wyman. Yes, that was all
I agree.
H.
I totally agree. I feel like Vince is letting H do him. But at
For the
any given,
time being.
yeah, for the time being, I'll give you that.
But what about?
Because
But this is my.
Brock is his dude.
I know
Brock
that.
is Vince dude.
That's why I'm saying.
And he
That's
let
why
it
I'm
happen.
like, when we say for the time being, this is what has me concerned. He's letting him make these calls on the PLEs. But I'm talking about what about the major pay-per-views when it counts the most? What about the Royal Rumbles? What about the WrestleManias?
Yeah,
What
but you
about the
can't help but look
SummerSlams?
at what he's already done with those big pay-per-views. I will be a fool if you make me $100 million and you did it by me not getting involved. But when I got involved, that $100 million went down to 10 million. I would be an idiot. That's $90 million I just missed out on. So if you making me the money, let me tell you something. I just produced. All y'all know. Well, some of y'all know. Y'all know I'm a producer. I just produced a record for B. Chase Williams and Shabbat. Right, just came out.
Very good, by the way.
And thank you, sir.
Go get it.
Here's the kicker. I didn't come up with everything on that record musically.
Oh.
I called in some people and was like, hey, what you think about this song? Juby actually arranged some of them songs.
Shout out to Jonathan.
Shout out to Jonathan Nation. Juby arranged some of them songs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person where it's like, okay, I'm going to sit back and let your mastermind, because your mastermind may be better than mine. I know how to put it all together. That's what a producer does. I don't got to play nothing to produce a record.
Right.
I can let everybody else come up with the whole arrangement, musical arrangement. Because I still got to put everything together at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all that to say I'll be a fool if I know that someone can play better than me or come up with arrangements better than me for me to be like, nah, I don't want your. Let me stop what you doing and let me. If it's already working.
But Dre, you're not Vince. Vince is an egomaniac. You're not an egomaniac.
But it's still, but if it's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about the finished product. And at the end of the day, you cannot, and I mean really, you cannot sit here and say H ain't making this man some money.
Oh, of course he is. But my thing is, I want him to take the quote unquote, and I hate to say this, I want him to stop pulling the strings on H, cut the strings off, and just let Triple H be the creative genius that he is, and you sit at home and you just enjoy yourself. You've done all you can do.
I mean,
You've made your contribution.
I mean, he's got it this far. Derek, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah, that's real, Derek. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that, Derek.
At the end of the day, there may be some things that Vince may know that's better than H. Because you got to be honest about the situation. H knows what he knows from Vince. So Vince being far off is not, I don't think that's smart. I feel like H is doing a good job. Let him do him. Stay out of the business of certain business parts of it. Like let him create the show because he's doing a good job with that. You know what I'm saying? But I, it's a catch-22. You know what I'm saying?
Bobby Lashley never lost the WWE.
Let's not forget Bobby Lashley. This is true.
Well, yeah, that is a good point, Trevor. I mean, but here's
But
the
they're
thing.
building that too.
Yeah, they are.
Stay tuned.
But about Bobby real fast. I mean, what the heck are they doing with Bobby? Like outside of trying to build trying to recreate the Hurt Business 2.0. What are they doing with Bobby?
Now
Just having him come out and cut promos in a nice $500 suit. Like what are they doing, Trevor?
Let me answer that question.
Okay,
they're waiting for the perfect time.
Waiting.
Yeah, we still are because we're still in the middle of the bloodline storyline.
Oh gosh!
Don't mess that up. You got to think it's a soap opera. I don't know if you ever growing up sitting at your grandmama's house, sitting on plastic couches, and she was watching her stories. But that's all. Like it wasn't like you was been telling your grandma not to change Days of Our Lives. You ever notice Days of Our Lives would be on the same? It'll be on Thursday for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
My
mom was a huge fan of Days of Our Lives.
Every time the show came on, it was still Thursday for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And they waited until they was done with one thing to move to the next. That's what's happening. You got to look at it from a bigger picture.
Oh,
if we insert Bobby Lashley now, you're gonna lose what's happening with the bloodline. We still have issue in the bloodline. They setting up Cody and Roman right now, and we're all tuned in faithfully every week.
Well, if that's the case, when Cody, and I'm praying it happens at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, if Cody does win the belt in Philadelphia, then okay, fine. Let Bobby be the next guy. Since we're talking about what's next, let Bobby be the next guy.
That's happening. They about to build. The same thing they're doing with the Judgment Day. They're gonna do with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I promise you. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's just not. That's not the top story right now. Okay. Don't lose momentum on what your top story is. Okay. Build around that. Right now, we are mentally and emotionally invested.
Yeah. I'll admit that.
Samoan dynasty right now.
Yeah, I'll admit that.
The bloodline and the Samoan dynasty. Because even with Jay going over to Raw, now we tuning in to Raw. Like, what he finna do?
Yeah.
Let me be clear. I wasn't watching Raw live. I was watching Raw after the fact.
Yeah.
I was watching it after the fact.
That's true, Trevor.
But on Fridays, I was like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. That's true, Trevor.
Yeah. Like a top-tier talent that's capable of wearing the belt and putting a stamp on it. Build a list of top guys of current compared to guys from WCW. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree with that.
Yep.
And I feel like that's what they're doing. They're building factions. They'll build, like, who would have ever thought that you would put Bobby Lashley and Street Profits together? They're two totally different types of people.
Absolutely.
They're creating factions right now.
Right. But here's the thing. Let me say this though, Derek. While I do agree with you on the top tier talent part that you said, I want them to start building not just a couple of contenders. I want them to build a crop of contenders.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about 2 or 3 guys. I'm talking about 10 guys. That way, if Cody becomes champion next year and beats Roman, I want, okay, if Bobby's next up, all right, cool. We go straight to Lashley right after Roman.
Yeah.
Like I want a crop of contenders for SmackDown and for Raw. Don't give me just 3 or 4 guys. I want a list. So that way, when one feud is done, we could go to the next one. And then after that one, and so on and so on. Like,
and I truly honestly believe that is the reason why a lot of the main talent are being involved with the NXT talent, because that's what they're doing.
We definitely need. I'll tell you this: we definitely need a lot of those kids in
They're good,
NXT
man.
needs to be called up. One
Yeah,
specifically
Carmelo
is
needs to come
Braun
up.
Breaker. Yeah, Carmelo and Braun.
He needs to
Carmelo
come
and
up
Braun Breaker.
now. But
Yeah,
because those are championship worth. Like,
yeah.
would you put the belt on them right away? Probably not.
No,
But
no.
those will be some great storylines.
But
Even I even like and I know they're not gonna bring him up now, but I even like Wesley. I
yeah,
even like him.
Wesley, dude,
He's good.
put him in the Intercontinental
Yeah.
US title division.
They-
Can you imagine a rivalry with him and Austin Theory? Come on, yes, please.
yeah, that'd be really good. I
Come
really
on,
feel like I feel like that's what they're doing.
I hope so.
And I like where H is going. And then you have to think about it. You please don't think for 1 second that H is not working hand in hand with not Triple H.
Shawn
H is
Michaels.
work with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, of
He's not-
course. That's his boy. That's his friend. Of course he is.
This is what I would do. Use the guys there, not put Cedric
Cedric
Alexander
Alexander
on
on
SmackDown
SmackDown.
and put Sheldon Benjamin in SmackDown, push Mustafa All and Mace
Ali
and
and
T-Bar.
But here's the thing. Here's the only thing with that though, Trev. You talk about specifically Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Okay, now we've seen what they've done collectively, but I believe it'll be a much more difficult task for H to do something with them individually. Because if I can be brutally honest here, while Alexander and Benjamin are awesome in the ring, they don't really have too much charisma or personality, and they're not the best on the mic either.
And they're OGs.
Yeah. So
They're
it's like
OGs.
he's
We
gonna
need
have
some new talent. If you're not
yeah,
gonna bring back Randy Orton and people like that, then you
but
might
like
as
we
well let the
said,
new talent come out.
right. I mean, but like we said, Braun Breaker, send him
He's
send him on
ready.
now.
He's
Carmelo,
ready.
Carmelo Hayes, send him on now.
And I'm gonna say this too. They need to send him to SmackDown. Don't even send him to Raw.
Yeah, send him to yeah,
Because Raw got enough people
right. Yeah, they
for
would
that.
cook.
They got
They would
enough
cook on
people.
SmackDown. They would
SmackDown
cook.
don't have anybody that can
Right.
be in the caliber of a Roman Reigns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Those
you
guys,
have
those
the
boys would
only
cook.
person that has that type of charisma is Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
it.
He
You
is.
have to bring back people. I don't know anybody else, you know what I'm saying, right now that can beat a Roman Reigns. They have to bring that championship to a playing level field right now. That's what
Yeah.
needs to happen.
I know who I want besides Cody to beat Roman, and you know who besides Cody that I want to beat at
Trevor
Raw.
say Brian Breaker need to go to Raw, not the A show.
Yeah. I mean,
The
you
problem,
could send him there.
Trevor, the issue is we don't have anybody on the A show.
Yeah,
We need some big guys on the A show.
Right. But see, that's why I said
because
go ahead.
Here's the thing. Come WrestleMania, your champion's not a big guy.
Yeah.
He's not a big guy. Cody's not a big guy.
He's not. He's really not. He now don't get me wrong. He has size because I think he goes like what 6'5", 6'6", something like that. He's got size, but I mean, as far as like body type, no, he's not a Vince McMahon oriented type dude.
He's not a big.
He's more of a Triple H guy.
Yeah,
because Triple H, you know what I'm saying, size really, and size and image really doesn't matter to him. If you can work in the ring, if you can cut promos, and if you can draw arenas throughout the country, then yeah, you're set. So he's more of a Triple H guy than a Vince guy.
I totally agree.
So
totally agree.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all, we wrapping up on time.
right.
We get into that. It's about that time. We start.
It's a very passionate,
great episode. And we gonna finish this off next week. I promise. We gonna finish this off next week.
Part 2 is coming. We just had to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get some of the dust off of us because we've been hibernating, these past couple of weeks. So
You won't agree, but
You
CM
listen
Punk
to
coming.
me.
I
Derek.
knew it was
Derek is
coming. I knew it
Derek.
was coming.
Derek is my dude. Yes, I was waiting for somebody to say it, and by God, Derek Whiteman said it. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
Wyman, we
Derek.
start. We
Yes,
starting off with that next week.
yes.
Period.
And you know what, Derek? Hey, listen, tune in next week because we are starting off on that. And you know what? I'll even play Cult of Personality just to spice it up a little bit.
Ooh,
Okay. And we might have, and to make it even better, we might have Jaquil here next week too. So you know it's the heat's gonna be turned up
he's
like
right though.
400
If
degrees.
Punk come back, bro, that is like AEW should just shut down 100%. It should just let go, just
Yeah,
close the door.
AEW will be, yeah,
There's no way
they'll
they're
be
gonna
in
make
real
it
big trouble.
with Punk and Cody.
Yeah, they'll be yeah, they'll be in real big trouble.
No, no.
The best counter that they would have is if they could acquire Edge. That would be their best counter.
They would need Edge, The Undertaker. They would need them all at this point.
Probably Goldberg. Probably Goldberg too. Oh, he's
Man,
bringing.
yeah.
Oh, really? You're
Bring
bringing
Jermaine.
Jermaine?
Bring
Yes.
Jermaine.
Yes. Oh, I want to hear
doing
Jermaine.
too.
I want to hear Jermaine weigh on some of this. You want to talk about a great wrestling mind? That
Jermaine,
guy
Jermaine
right
is
there. Yes. Please, Derek, bring Jermaine Hall on to Ring Psychology next week. This is going to be a loaded show, Drake. I think this might be the most loaded show we'll have next week,
Yeah,
man.
That's
Y'all don't miss
funny.
it. 8:00 p.m., man, right here on the Ring Psychology Facebook page, man. My
Absolutely.
goodness.
So y'all already know how we do this, man. Y'all can find me on Facebook, Draco, Instagram. I am what's my name on Instagram? I am underscore Draco, and of course TikTok. I am Draco. Follow us on the Ring Psychology. We on YouTube. We on Facebook. We about to be on Twitch. And I've been researching. We about to be on actual. I'm actually working on getting us on Apple podcast as well. So I will give y'all more details on that.
Moving on up.
Get y'all more details. Tell them when to follow you, bro.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find me, all you got to do first is go to Facebook, where you can find me under my original name. It is George Kennebrew. My last name is spelled KENNEBREW. But if you don't like Facebook, you can always go to the IG, where I am Livis_1. That is the word ONE_living. And if you don't like IG, the last resort is TikTok, where I am Special K_00788 or 0788. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Like I said, we getting started on this CM Punk thing. Y'all done made me.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm ready for this one.
Shout out real quick. Shout out to Trevor and Derek Whiteman, man. That was a real big surprise, man. Always good to hear from Derek Whiteman, man. Absolutely. Bring Jermaine Hall next week, man. It's on. And hopefully we'll have Jaquil here as well. So y'all get ready, because it's about to go down.
Yes, sir, man. See y'all next week, y'all.
Peace.